So hi guys, good afternoon. Today I'm going to install a Barnett clutch set for Ducati Scrambler. So I've got the clutch components from Barnett's Performance Products, and the clutch kit is meant for Ducati Scrambler Classic 2017 306-25-2005 clutch kit Ducati. You can see it in here. So let me just unbox the clutch for you. So that's the beautiful clutch inside. So I just have opened it before. It's got a sticker by Barnett equipped, and then you have the Barnett tool and engineering logoed here, and then you have a little bit of instructions which is provided. I've already taken that out. So we have got some plates here. I'll show you the plates now. So we have friction plates and also the steel plates. 10 steel plates and friction plates are 11. So we have 11 friction plates. The beautiful carbon fiber. You can see the carbon fiber here. Clutch plate from Barnet clutch set. Heard a lot that they fit onto different bikes. They manufacture for different bikes, so this is specifically meant for Ducati Scrambler. So that's the Ducati Scrambler which I'm going to fit on. That's a Ducati Scrambler Classic, and that's the clutch box. So we're going to change the clutch. So we're opening the clutch box for the Ducati Scrambler. That's the clutch cable. Using an Allen key spanner to open the clutch cover of Ducati Scrambler Classic. This has been done just right under my home. I'd been facing a lot of problem with clutch. The Ducati Scrambler, the stock clutch has worn out at around 12,000 kilometers. I'd gone for a 6,000 kilometers long ride, so there's a good fair chances that I've burnt it out because I had gone through a lot of hilly terrain and a lot of rugged roads all across from Bangalore to Himachal, so crossing 7 states of India. So you can imagine the clutch has to burn out. There has been a lot of use of half clutch as well, because certain times because of the traffic. Very easy to open the clutch box. It's just using an Allen key spanner, a T spanner. The oil actually has already been replaced, so we are not going to change the oil. Just remove the clutch cover. Inside, and a little bit of oil. So since the bike is already inclined, so we didn't have to drain the oil, but still we have kept the tray underneath in case there is any seepage of oil. That's how it looks like. Now we're going to remove the 6 Allen key bolts. So the bolt with the spring is coming out. So we have total 6 of them. 6 bolts with springs. See that spring and the bolt. So we have 10 of these steel plates and we have 11 of friction plates. So we're just going to install one by one. So since inside we have the steel plate first. So we're going to install the friction one because otherwise it will slip metal to metal. So first plate is going to be friction plate. This is the clutch hub, you can see here, and we have these two plates here. So one of them is flat, so this goes first. So we put the smaller one down here. It's like a washer, and this is a little concave, it's a little curved, so you keep the curved one facing upwards, so there's a little space in between these two. So these holes which you see in the hub is basically for draining the oil, and then we have the friction plates arranged. And this is one very important clutch part which is smaller than the compared to the rest of the friction plate. So you see there's a little difference. So this goes after the washer. So this is placed over here, and then you put the other plates. See the convex the two washers and the clutch, which actually goes in perfectly into the slot, and it's right in there in between. So it's perfectly fitting in between. Okay, now goes the steel plate. Okay, so finished all the friction plates and all the steel plates. So there's one little bit out. So now this one, all these stuff go into the clutch bell. So that's the clutch bell. This is the clutch hub, and all the clutch are arranged. Now we're going to fix it inside. So we're going to box it in. See the direction how it goes in. Just rotate it slowly and keep pushing it in. It's easier to fit it in this way. It's easier to fit it in this way. Just box it in. So you can see that separate plate which we had, the stock type, the thinner one, the different dimensioned clutch plate, the clutch friction plate, it has a separate groove for it to fit into. So you can see this groove. This groove is specifically meant for that different type of friction plate which we have. So there are two washers here inside, the spring washers, then this different type of a friction plate compared to the other friction plate goes into this slot. There are difference of all the other friction plates go in here. Installing the 3 springs now. See that? So the spring goes in. So there's one more spring here. The third spring goes in. So you see the action of this little spring. That spring goes into those little slot. Yeah, perfectly fitted. Yeah, there's a good play. A very important part of installing this clutch of Ducati Scrambler. Very important part. So you see that arrow marked over here, and the little notch over there onto the hub. So the hub has got a little notch over there. So these all have to be aligned, or 1 and 2. I'll show you again. 1 and 2. This arrow and the notch have to be aligned. So, and then you can easily arrange it and turn it around, just adjust it so that this notch, it's for the circulation, and that's the proper fitting. Now we're going to show you something which has the bearing inside. So it's also part of the clutch hub. So we're going to install this, which holds the spring and holds the clutch together. So it's like compresses when you hold the clutch. This is the one which presses against them to keep the clutch, you know, engaged or disengaged. So this is one. So like we're going to place this fits in properly. And we're placing all the bolts with the spring. So the springs are in good condition. You can see those 6 of them. Now I'm tightening all the bolts and the spring together. Paste gasket, which we'll be using it to seal the box, the clutch cover box. So we apply this little paste and it sticks when you box it. There's no leakage of oil. So you're just going to box it. You're going to see it getting boxed. Time is to put the bolts. So you see there has been no oil seepage because the bike is pretty inclined and it has enough oil. So you can see the bolts. We have 4 longer bolts. The longest one goes in here. The rest of the 3 bolts go clockwise. The remaining 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 go onto the smaller. So you can see this has to be longer, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the remaining smaller onto the edges. So total 5 of them. So this is going to tighten them. Adjusting the clutch so that it becomes a little tighter. You can see this moving upwards and getting a little tighter. See, going a little up slowly. The wire is actually getting pulled behind, so it's a little tighter. Just adjusted the handle lever. You can see we brought it to the extreme end. We are adjusting it to see the free play of the clutch. Back the engine oil cap.